All right, so today we're going to talk about fasting for diabetes reversal, okay? And as I'm expanding my audience now to fit diabetic patients, I did a lot of reading before I took the move, and I am still doing a lot of reading. And I am fascinated that your eating pattern, about 20 to 40%, and your fasting, about 60 to 80%, can reverse your diabetes. It's that plain and that simple. And as I continue reading, I understand why diabetes is so poorly diagnosed, and I also understand why we say that there is no cure to it. Okay, so after now, I would be going into details about, things about your diet, but it's not going to be like a live session. I would just be sharing this information with you via my Facebook page, via static posts on the WhatsApp group. Sometimes you get emails from me about them, but for this fasting information, I decided that it would be nice if we come on live to talk about it, okay? Because I am really, really fascinated. So before I go into the session proper, I just want to say that I would never call you to inform you about my live sessions, okay? I work very hard to build my audience, and sometimes when people come into the groups via my advertisements, other people are not really interested in learning what the aim is, okay? They are just there to use my name to scam other people and to hack into their WhatsApp accounts, okay? So I've been thinking a lot on how I can curb that, and I will let you know my final decision. But up until then, please, I would never call you to inform you about my live sessions. I don't need to call anyone to inform them about these sessions that are free. All right. So if anyone calls you saying they work with me, nobody works with me. If they did, then I would have introduced them to you a very long time ago. Okay. So I am doing my business alone. I don't work with anyone. I'm not married. If anyone calls you saying I am having a session and you should read them a code, please do not read them any code. Okay. They are simply trying to hack into your WhatsApp. And when you share that code with them, they have access to your WhatsApp and you are logged out of your WhatsApp and they start to ask your close friends and family members for cash. Okay. So please turn on your two-step verification, because if you do, then WhatsApp will inform you that you should not share this code with anyone. Okay. If you don't know how to turn on your two-step verification on WhatsApp, just type into YouTube how to turn on two-step verification on your Android device or on your iPhone device, okay? And you will see a short video. And I've also shared a video on how to do that on the groups as well, okay? So until I make my final decision on how I can, sort of filter the people on the groups, which I know would not be easy, please protect yourself, okay? All right. So as I was saying before, also, if you cannot hear me at any point in this session, kindly let me know using the chat, okay? So I really hope that you can hear me and that you are following so that we can stay together, okay? All right. So like I said, I have been doing a lot of reading, and diabetes does have a cure. But sometimes when we think about a cure in Nigeria, we are majorly looking for a specific product that will cure that problem. We want a specific product that will cure hypertension. We want a specific product that will cure diabetes. And it's because of this sole reason that so many people have been scammed a lot, and so many people have tried all manner of products and it didn't work for them as they hoped it would. Okay, the simple thing is there is no cure to these things. be it drug, be it a product, be it a herbal drink. Now, the reason we say that there is no cure is that you can't fit into a tablet, you cannot fit into a drink what you can do for yourself. It's just like how we say God is not going to come down to do for man what man can do for himself. It's just like our situation in Nigeria. God is not going to come down to fix Nigeria's economy when men can fix the economy, okay? You cannot fit a solution into a tablet, a drink, whatever it is. Even your medications cannot do that for you because it is something that you have to do on your own. Anything that would help you would simply assist you to get there faster, would simply assist your body to, do certain things that your body has been, or your body is unable to do. Okay, for instance, if you find it difficult to sleep, if you have low energy, if you're always under stress, you have high levels of oxidative stress in your system, yes, there are certain products, herbal drinks, supplements, medications that can help you with that. But you see, you cannot fit into a bottle what you can do for yourself. And the simple thing about it is you were once non-hypertensive. You were once non-diabetic. Okay, so something changed along the line. Your parents did not give birth to you as a diabetic patient, and you would also not give birth to you didn't give birth to your kids as diabetic patients either, or hypertensive patients. So what happened? What went wrong along the line? And you cannot then find a product or even a medication that would then take all your problems away. The sooner we begin to understand this, the less misinformation you would receive, okay? And the sooner you understand it, the faster your recovery. The sooner you believe it, the faster your recovery. Because you now have to understand that look, it is based on your efforts, okay? And products would simply help to accelerate your results and, help assist your body in terms or in ways that your body otherwise would not get there on its own. It's just like you want to travel, okay? Let's say you want to travel to London. You would rather go there by air than to walk, right? So that's what these products will help you to do. Now, when we talk about diabetes, when we say that there is no cure, there is a cure, okay? It's very, very misdiagnosed, very poorly diagnosed in medicine, okay? And you see, the reason why you stay on these medications for life is that, in fact, medicine's goal is to save your life, okay? And people, I want to use the word lazy, but then I don't want to use the word lazy, okay? People, first of all, don't have the information that they need in order to recover from things like hypertension and diabetes, okay? So the first thing is the lack of knowledge, okay? Now, some people, even when you have the knowledge, you simply cannot apply it into your life because it then seems too stressful. It's like you are not enjoying your life anymore. So for instance, all of the information I've been sharing with you since the very first time that you met me, if you have never applied any single one in your life up until this point, you are to blame for remaining in the state of hypertension or being diabetic. Okay, because it is one thing for you to get the information and it's another thing for you to apply it in order for you to get results. Okay, so the reason you stay on these medications is that medicine sort of knows that so many people would not be able to go through the lifestyle routes, and they would rather save your life by giving you medications and making sure that you stick to those medications for life so that you don't die. That's the simple reason behind these medications. And over time, because you don't make these changes, okay, and also because you're not consistent with these changes, because you don't also believe that these lifestyle changes are going to help you, because you don't believe that that is the key, that is the best way, you increase your medication. Some of you go from one medication to 2, 3, 4, and you then stay on these medications for decades. For decades. And the truth of the matter is, even if you have been hypertensive or diabetic for the past 20 years, it will take you less time for you to recover, for you to get your life back from that. Okay? So when we say that there is no cure to these things, what we really mean is that there is no drug cure to it. There is no tablet cure to it. Okay? Because it is not a disease. All right? To be cured from something is to be done with that thing forever. Right? And these diseases like hypertension, these diseases like diabetes, they are not essentially diseases, okay? They are physiological adaptations because, like I said, you were not born a hypertensive patient. You were not born a diabetic patient. So something changed along the line. And being in a state of hypertension or diabetes, your body has simply adapted to that way of life, okay? Bear in mind that before and even presently, your body is still moving, right? At least day by day, God gives you the grace and you wake up every morning. Your body is still functioning, right? Your body is smart and everything that it does on purpose. Okay, your body always finds its way back to homeostasis. Okay, if you are eating very well and if you observe certain dietary essentials, you would realize that sometimes you would feel, like a little fever. Sometimes you would feel a little weak, and then you give yourself some time. You just say, okay, let me just watch my system and just see what happens. And a few days pass and you are okay. It happens to me sometimes because I really dread taking medications. I would rather take injections than to swallow one malaria, one anti-malarial drug. Okay, so sometimes I just watch my body, and just see. And a few days will pass and I'm okay. Okay, because I try very, very hard. I mean, I cannot be telling you to eat well whilst I'm not eating well. Okay, I cannot be telling you to change your lifestyle and I'm doing the exact opposite, despite the fact that I am much, 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 much younger than you. I don't want to experience these physiological adaptations myself. Okay, because I've seen my parents undergo these things and my relatives, and I don't want to end up like that. Okay, so at my age, I am already observing these things that I am teaching you to observe. Now, if you are keeping to it, sometimes you just watch yourself, your body would return to homeostasis. Your body just has a way of just bringing you back to normal. Okay, and things like diabetes, it is not a disease. If you check your body properly, your liver is not broken, neither is your pancreas. Your insulin hormones are working as they are supposed to work. Your body is fine. There is actually nothing wrong with you. Okay, everything is working the way it is supposed to work. Your heart is still beating, your blood is still moving, everything is okay. Now, the thing is, over the years, as the years go by, as the years pass, you have sort of adapted into the state of being a diabetic patient. Okay, it's just like a bodybuilder. If someone that goes to the gym, okay, every single day, they will build muscle. They would build muscle because their body is now giving them, their body is creating the environment that would then withstand even more stress, to withstand that daily stress. And what is going to withstand that daily stress? It is more muscle. Okay, their body is going to build more mass in order to withstand the kind of pressure they are giving their body. Okay, likewise, somebody who just sits around all day, your body will just down-regulate. Okay, a couch potato doesn't build muscle by sitting on the couch all day or by eating snacks all day. Okay, so everything that your body does is in response to something. Everything your body does is in response to something. Okay, I've used this example time and time again, but I would use it for those of you who have not listened to this part of my sessions before. Okay, if you want to travel, perhaps you haven't been abroad and you travel during the winter season, you best believe if you do not go with the proper clothing, you would freeze to death. Okay, you will freeze to death. because your body has not adapted to being in that kind of environment. And if you have been in such cold environments before, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a very hot environment, you would feel it because your body has not adapted to being in that kind of situation. Okay. Likewise, if you are accustomed to eating 7 swallows, let's say you happen to eat seven wraps of eba. Okay. First time, you may not get around, you may not get 3 7 wraps, but you keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. And all of a sudden, you see yourself, eating 7 wraps of eba with ease. Meanwhile, somebody else that is not used to eating 7 wraps of eba, it's not possible for them to finish those 7 wraps because their body has not adapted to eating 7 wraps of eba. So if you do something, your body acts in response to that thing. Okay, when mosquito bites you and it injects its plasmodium into your bloodstream, your body would shoot up your temperature to let you know that, look, there is an intruder here. So everything that your body does is in response to something, and diabetes is simply a physiological adaptation. Your body has accustomed itself to being in a state of diabetes. Okay, so this is simply what it is. It is a late stage of what we call insulin resistance. And simply put, it means that your body does not process blood sugar. It doesn't process glucose as it's used to. Okay, now let's go back 20 years in time. I have explained this before, but I would explain it again for those people who have not listened to this session before. Okay, now in year 1, everything was working fine with you. The blue bar represents your sugar. The red bar represents your sugar and your blue bar represents your insulin. Okay, insulin is a hormone that packages sugar, take it out of the blood to put it into your muscles, give it to your brain, give it to your kidneys, give it to your cells so that they can function. All right. Now, in year 1, 20 years before you ever found out that you have diabetes, okay, in year 1, everything was fine. Okay, you ate your normal Nigerian meals. Okay, Sunday you eat bread in the morning. In the afternoon time, definitely rice or stew, coconut rice, fried rice. If it's not rice, then it's majorly eba. Okay, and at night you probably fry 1 or 2 things. You fry your yam, fry your potato, whatever it is. Okay, excuse me. So in year 1, everything is fine. And as you eat your regular Nigerian meals, your body produces 5 blocks of insulin to tackle that 3 meal a day you are eating. Okay. So year 1, 5 blocks of insulin to handle your eating pattern. Okay. Now 6 years pass. All right. And your body now needs, nothing really changes in your diet. Okay. Nothing really changes. You are still eating the same way. All right. But now it takes your body 3 times the amount of insulin that it would to simply handle that condition, that pattern of eating. Okay. And in year 7, your blood glucose is beginning to rise, but then your body is able to manage it with 3 times as more insulin. Okay. So you don't really feel the effects, okay, on your body system. It's rising, but you don't feel it yet. Okay. Problems have started. Okay. At this point, this is when you should start acting, but you don't know yet. Okay. Now, another 8 years go by. And now it takes your body 5 times as much insulin, okay? 5 times as much insulin to tackle the same pattern of eating. Now, nothing again really changes in your diet, but then your blood glucose is beginning to increase. And even that 5 times the insulin, your insulin is not able to handle the way you are eating. So what happens? You start seeing changes in your blood sugar. At this stage, you are a pre-diabetic patient. Okay. So your body is now operating 5 times more. It's working 5 times as hard just to manage this your way of life. Okay. To simply manage your way of life. And even at this 5 times more that it is working, it's still unable to return your blood glucose back to normal. That is, it is unable to return your glucose back to 5 as it was in year 1. Okay. Now at year 20, things have gone out of control. Okay. Your body is now working 10 times as hard, producing 10 times as much insulin as it's supposed to, than it is supposed to. But on the other hand, it is still unable, no matter the amount of insulin it releases, it is unable to package that blood sugar out of your blood and give it to your cells. Now, why? Why is that? Now, take a look at this photo here. I hope that you can see my pointer. Okay. Now you can see these whitish balls, okay, in your blood vessel. Now they are moving across the blood vessel. Now this is insulin, okay? The blue block is insulin. And the work of this insulin is to take these white balls out of the blood and put it into your cells, okay? Now you know that your cells are like the basic unit of life, okay? Your cells make up your liver, it makes up your muscles, it makes up your brain, it makes up every part of your body, is made up of 1 or 2 cells, okay? Majority of cells, okay, clustered up together. That is what makes tissues and organs and all these systems, okay? So that's work of insulin. Now, no matter how much insulin is produced, it cannot remove the amount of sugar in this blood, okay? And what happens? They pronounce you a diabetic patient. They say your blood sugar is too high, okay? And they would now give you an anti-diabetic medication to force this blood sugar and push it into the cell. Now you may be asking yourself, why is insulin unable to carry this white ball and put it into this cell right here? Well, it's because the cell is full. There is no space for this white ball to enter the cell anymore. It is completely full. Okay. And your medications, what they would now do is to force it to, it's like you are fitting so much food into your into your fridge or your freezer to the point where it is even spilling out. Okay, so there is no more space, and your medications, what they do is that they will force it into the liver. And the thing about diabetes is that it's only your liver. Your liver is the only thing that can process sugar, fructose. Your liver is the only thing that can process it. So as a diabetic patient, what is majorly at risk for you and your health in general is your liver. Okay, that is what is most at risk, because nothing else can break down or even store fructose. Fructose is a type of glucose. It's something that is worse than glucose. Glucose simply means sugar. Fructose is worse than sugar. Okay, and that's your table sugar. That's what you have in your sweets and your candy and your ice cream and all these desserts. That is fructose. It's only your liver that can process that. So when you are diabetic and your insulin is unable to carry this white ball and put it into this cell here, because this cell is full, what happens is the cell starts to resist this white ball. It's telling your body, I have enough. Don't give me any more white balls. Don't give me any more glucose. I am full. Okay. But because this white ball cannot remain in your blood, if this white ball stays in your blood, by the next time you eat, you will be dead. Blood glucose is something that must be tightly regulated by your body system. If you know that you want to continue living your life, your body must regulate its blood glucose. It cannot be so low, neither should it be extraordinarily high. If it is, then you would be dead. So medicine knows that you would not be able to bring down this blood glucose on your own, especially for those of you who are at very late stages of diabetes. And even if you begin to practice lifestyle modifications, you would not be able, you wouldn't do it for so many reasons, like I've mentioned at the beginning of this class. Sometimes it's misinformation, you don't have enough knowledge, and other times you cannot be consistent with it. So in order to save your life, they will give you these medications to package and force this white ball and push it into this cell. Okay, so that you don't die. And what happens is that your cells it's already full. There is no more space for it. Okay? So at this point, you need your medications, and you must pay the price for forcing your body to do what your body doesn't want to do. You have to pay that price, okay? And that's where the side effects of your medications then come in, okay? Some of you are not on any ordinary diabetic medication. Some of you have even more insulin, okay? That is, no matter how high this blue bar goes, it cannot contain just your normal way of eating. It's not as if you are eating anything extraordinary, right? It's not as if anything really changed in your diet. It's not as if you are consuming sugar, but the way you have been eating for the past 20, 30 years has taken a toll on your body system. Okay, your pattern has taken a toll. It's like you have maxed out your capacity. Okay, there are some things that happen to you in life that you just say, I beg, I cannot do again. That's what your body is telling you, that it cannot handle the amount of carbohydrates and sugar you are consuming anymore. And you have to do something about it. Okay, so that's where I'm simply explaining what your medications then do, is to force this blood glucose into the cell or top up the insulin. Okay, you already have so much insulin, but it cannot handle your way of eating. So you then add even more to it to crash your blood glucose down. And all of these things are happening to you. And when you just take your readings, you see that your readings are, healthy readings, and then you are happy with yourself. Meanwhile, inside of you, is not okay at all. Okay, and if you listen to my previous videos, I explained why you cannot simply measure, your level of diabetes simply by taking your blood glucose reading, because it's so tightly controlled by your body. It's so tightly controlled. If it's too low, it's a problem. If it's too high, it's also a problem. Okay, and you see what is going on now between your blood and these cells. No medication, nothing can help you do it. You have to do it on your own. Nothing can help you fix it. You have to fix it on your own. You have to find a way of offloading this cell on your own before it is too late. And I am sorry, your medication simply cannot do that for you. If they could, they would have done it since. If they could, then we won't have things like, okay, diabetes is a life-threatening disease. It will be like malaria. Once you take your drug, you are done. Okay, so this constant dependence on medications would cause the death of your organs, and eventually it will just reduce your life's quality, because you are forcing your body to do what your body should do on its own. There is no reason why a human being should be on day-to-day medications. There is no reason. There is no reason. If human beings are supposed to be on day-to-day medications, we would have started them from childhood. Okay. All right. So the problem with our means now is we are simply forcing the body to take in that blood glucose, which is good. Okay. Because like I said, high blood glucose is very, very bad. Okay. And it's very, very life-threatening as well. Okay. So your medications do a very good job by helping you prevent things like kidney failure, liver failure, blindness, you getting your legs cut off or your body parts cut off, and neuropathy as well. Okay. But the issue is it doesn't do anything to help your insulin resistance. Okay. It doesn't do anything to help that cell that has too much blood glucose. Okay. So at that point, your cells are begging for mercy, but your medications don't care about that. Their job is to simply get out as much sugar from the blood as possible, which is a good thing, but it is not sustainable. It is not reliable. Okay. So the insulin resistance we're talking about is responsible for what we call a metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome is like a host of diseases. Okay. So if you watch very well, people who have pot belly, you find out that they also have diabetes. And when you have diabetes, your blood pressure would rise. And when your BP rises, the chances of you suffering a stroke are higher. right? So you can see that it's kind of connected. The same with high cholesterol as well. So all of these things together is what we call a metabolic syndrome. Okay, and you don't need to have pot belly before you're diabetic. Okay, they kind of come hand in hand. Okay, if you get what I mean. So sometimes when you are diabetic, your blood pressure rises, then you now consider yourself a hypertensive patient. And from being hypertensive, you find out, oh, I actually have high cholesterol. Okay, so it's like the cycle sort of goes round and round and round, and that's what we call a metabolic syndrome. Why? What's the point of that? Simply because this cell has had enough. This cell has had enough. The cell is telling you, I am full. Okay, and remember, these cells are what makes up your body parts. Okay, thousands and thousands of these cells make up your liver. So your liver is screaming for mercy, your kidney is screaming for mercy. Okay, so what happens is your medications cannot do this for you. Okay, and this would also prevent your weight loss. That's why some of you find it so difficult to lose weight, because your cells have had enough. Okay, so if we say now that we want to cure diabetes, what's the simple thing that we need to do? First of all, let us start by stop putting that sugar into the blood. Okay, the first thing we need to do, we need to turn the tap off. If your room is flooding, the first thing you have to do is to find where the water is coming out from and put it off before you start cleaning up your room. So you have to turn off the tap. Let us first of all stop putting in this whitish balls into the blood. Turn it off. Stop it. Let us handle the blood sugar in the cells first, before you start adding more into the blood. Put up the tap. Okay, and how do we put up that tap? That's our ketogenic diets. Okay, keto simply means low carb, high fat. Now, when we say fat, we don't mean the normal fat that you are so scared of, that you think your fat will give you high cholesterol and etc. Healthy fat is very, very good for you. And that is what your body actually, that's the primary source of fuel. That's the primary source of energy. Fats is the primary source. There are three macronutrients. Okay, fat, carbohydrates, and protein. The first thing your body should use for fuel is your fats. It's like God knew that carbohydrates would do damage to you, and he designed your body in such a way that your primary source of fuel would be your fats. That's why when you eat foods that have high carb, high fat, your body will burn up the fats, and your carbohydrates will start causing problems for you by leaving these whitish balls in your blood vessel. So your body would first of all make use of its primary source, and then what it doesn't need, it will start accumulating in your body system. It's not as if you're not eating good fats, okay? But because it is your body's first primary source of fuel, your body uses it. Okay, I mean, you cannot see something that is good for you and leave it and go to something that is bad for you, right? That's what your body does too. So your body, first of all, makes use of that high fat. And then when it has had enough energy for the day, you now find out that this whitish blood glucose is roaming about your bloodstream, causing issues for you. And then insulin starts to package, and your cells have told you it's enough. And then boom, you are diabetic. So if you want to cure your diabetes, first of all, put off the tap. Stop putting in this whitish glucose in the blood. Turn it off. And how do you do that? By eating a low carbohydrate, high healthy fat diet. Okay? You put this off by eating low carb, high fats. And then what do you do to help these your cells? You simply fast. And that is what we are focusing on today. Okay? I could not just jump into telling you that fasting can help you with your diabetes. I have to explain things for you so that you can understand it. And when you understand it, you have confidence and you will be able to do it and stick to it long term. As opposed to trying it for 1 week and say, oh, it's not working for me. That's the reason I explain these things to you. That's the reason I explain these things to you. And it's not easy to explain these things to you, actually. That's why your doctors don't have the time. They don't have the time to do these things. Okay? So as a wellness consultant, that's my job, to teach you how your body operates. So that when you understand, okay, this is how my body operates, and I tell you to do lifestyle, to have lifestyle changes or give you lifestyle recommendations, you can actually stick to it with confidence, knowing that, okay, I understand why I am supposed to do A, B, and C. Because if you don't understand it, you won't stick to it long term. All right? Okay. So to undo diabetes, to cure diabetes, simply undo, just reverse it. Okay? If you are going right and you figure out that right is not the best way for you to go, you make a U-turn. Okay? You make a U-turn. So stop putting sugar in. First off, stop putting sugar in and then burn out the stored sugar out. Burn it out. Okay? All right. I have been talking for 36 minutes now. Can you please let me know how we are feeling so far? Are we together? Are we together? Do we understand everything I've said so far? Please let me know in the chat, okay? Am I scolding you too much today? Do you feel like I am giving it to you hot today? Yes, today I am not taking it easy. Are we together? Are we following? Okay, I can see your comments in the chat. Thank you. All right. Sister says, why am I not taking it easy? There's no reason, actually. There's no reason. Sometimes you just have to say it hard. You just have to say it hard so that, it can stick. Yeah. It's just like a little child. You tell them, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And sometimes you just yell at them a bit and then they, yes, you just need to hear it sometimes. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's continue. Okay. So speaking about a ketogenic diet, okay, there are reasons why keto is keto. Okay. The first thing is low carb. So low carbohydrates means low sugar. Okay. And also low fructose means the lower form of the worst kind of glucose. Okay. Remember, I said fructose can only be digested, stored by your liver. Nothing else can put fructose together for you aside your liver. Okay. So low carbohydrates, low fructose, also a low glycemic index, and high healthy fats. Okay. And I've already explained this. Fat is a macronutrient. Okay. We have macronutrients and we have micronutrients. When you talk about the micro ones, you now start talking about things like your zinc, your vitamin D, your vitamin C. But for essential living, okay, for energy, for fuel, for body repair, for cell rejuvenation, okay, it's simply your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats, okay? Fats, your body majorly uses it as fuel, okay? And when you don't have that, then, your carbohydrates begin to cause issues for you, okay? So a high healthy fat and low carbohydrate diet changes the way your body stores and uses energy. Okay, so when your body doesn't have access to that carbohydrates anymore, it will start making good use of the fats that it sees. Okay, the fats that you make available to it, and then you would then remove the glucose out of your cells. Okay, it then gives your body enough time to get rid of the carbohydrates or the glucose that has now been stored, in your cells. So your body would use your high fats instead of sugar. Remember, I said turn off the tap. Turn off the tap first. Okay. And you cannot be trying to clean up your room when the ceiling is open. Let's say it's raining and the roof is open. and, water is pouring in, and then you are trying to clean out the water. You are trying to mop the water. Close the ceiling first and then remove the water. Okay. So how do we do that? By eating high fat, low carb. All right. And that the kind of fat I mean is not the fat that has high cholesterol. They are healthy fats that are available to you. Okay. So what keto would do now is to switch the energy source from fats to carbohydrates. Okay. And then when you have turned off the tap, you see that your blood glucose will come down. Okay. And it will then reduce the chances of metabolic syndrome, because now you are not forcing that glucose into the cell anymore. Okay. So your chances of developing a metabolic syndrome is reducing. Okay. As well as your insulin resistance. All right. Now, the thing is, some of you already cut down a lot of foods. This is not new to you, right? This is definitely not new to you. So you already know that you should cut down on things like your yam, your potato, your rice, your bread. Okay, you've heard it before. But if you are just cutting down food, why are you not getting results? Okay, have you ever asked yourself that question? That, oh, as a diabetic, you're supposed to cut down so many foods, but then still you don't make the kind of results that you would want to make. Now, the reason is that there is a healthy version of keto. What you are doing is you are simply cutting out foods. And when you cut out certain foods, there are foods that you eat that, yes, they are high in carb, okay, but they are also very nutritious to your health. You need them, okay? It's just like meat. All right. If I tell you, okay, don't eat meat, it will help you reduce your blood pressure. Meat also has some benefits to your health, right? So what then happens if you stop eating meat? It means that you would lose out on the vitamins that meat could have given you, right? So the reason why you don't experience or you don't see the kind of results that you want to see is that when you cut down those foods, you don't replace them. You don't replace them well. You don't replace them with the healthy fat foods that will give you those nutrients that you could have otherwise gotten from your yam, your potato, your rice, your bread. All right. So that's the thing about keto. It's not just about cutting. You have to eat. Okay. And when you eat, you have to make sure that you are not lacking anything when it comes to your nutrients. If not, it will affect you. And when you start lacking nutrients like that, you would feel the side effects of your medications more. And overall, you will just not be fine. It will even add to the decrease of your immune function. Okay. Now, there are certain nutrients that you should look out for when it comes to replacing these nutrients with a high-fat diet. Okay. We have your zinc, you have your vitamin D, your chromium, your potassium, your magnesium, and your B vitamins. Okay. These are essential ones that you need, all right, in order to help you with the undoing process, with the reversal process. All right. Now, a low carb, healthy fat diet will reduce the incoming glucose load. That's what is going to turn off the tap. Okay. But what happens to the sugar that we already have stored in the cell? What happens to the sugar that is already in the blood? Okay. What happens to it? That's where fasting comes in. Okay. What do you tell your children when they tell you that they want to eat out? You tell them there's food at home. When you pick them up from school and you pass Mr. Biggs or you pass KFC and they tell you, mommy, daddy, buy rice, buy chicken. You tell them there's food at home. Right? So that's the same thing. Okay, when you have now turned off the tap, make use of the glucose you have already stored. Okay, make use of what you have already stored. Make use of that storage. Okay, and when we say that it's time for you to fast as a diabetic patient, we have this objection that you find it hard, you find it difficult to fast because diabetes can make you hungry. All right. Now, the thing about hunger is that hunger starts in your mind. Okay, hunger starts in your mind. It takes your stomach 6 to 8 hours to digest food. Okay, that is to digest food and for you to to burn out that food out of your system, 6 to 8 hours, okay, for it to completely digest your food for you. All right. Now, hunger begins in your mind. Okay. It's fascinating how all through the night, when you go to bed by 9 p.m., you don't get up by 2 a.m. start looking for food to eat, right? You don't wake up in the middle of the night and you are hungry. When you go to bed at 9, 10, you sleep for over 7, 8 hours, you are not feeling hungry. You wake up 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever time you wake up. Even when you wake up, you are not eating right away immediately. It's not like, you just woke up and you are starving. Okay. So how come we are able to fast throughout the night? Okay. Meanwhile, in the morning times, between your breakfast and your lunch, it's like you want to die out of hunger. Why? Hunger starts in the mind. Your mind is not conditioned to wake up at 2 a.m. start looking for eba to eat, except you condition it that way, then so be it. Okay. If you train yourself that you set an alarm 2 a.m., you must wake up every night and you look for what to eat, then you would actually wake up 2 a.m. Your stomach will start looking for food. Okay. So hunger actually starts in the mind, and we have common stimuli and we have common pairs. Okay. One thing I used to do in the past, I have repented from my sins. One thing I used to do is anytime I am on my laptop and I am studying, I like to look for snacks to eat, that will just keep my mouth busy. Okay. Until I realized that every time, and I study a lot, I study medicine. So I study a whole lot, but I don't eat in class. So when I'm in class, I'm not hungry. Okay. But outside class, it's like I need something to eat because I've conditioned myself that anytime I sit down and I put my laptop and my iPad in front of me, then I have to eat something. Okay. It's the same for you as well. When you come back from work, okay, you ask your wife to prepare food for you. Or if you live alone, when you come back from work, the first thing is, oh, I'm so hungry, I have to go and eat. So that's a common stimuli for you. Okay. Another thing again is time. So if you are conditioned to eat at a certain time, even if you are not hungry, okay, even if you are not hungry, even if your stomach is not empty per se, you would feel those feelings of hunger. Sometimes I observe that anytime I eat a good dinner, once it is 9 p.m., I start feeling hungry. But then I ask myself, I ate a very good dinner last night, so I'm not supposed to be hungry by this time. Okay. So that's to tell you that your time is actually a common stimuli for hunger as well. Okay. When you look at the time, oh, I was supposed to eat by 9 o'clock. Now it is 2 o'clock. I haven't eaten. You start feeling those feelings of hunger. Okay. And the thing is, when you expect to eat at a certain time and you don't eat at a certain time, your body releases hormones. Okay. Your body will start releasing hunger hormones because it's like, what's wrong? We are supposed to have eaten by this time, but we are not eating. And then you start feeling those feelings of hunger. Okay. And nothing again is boredom. So people are just bored and they just like to eat, cham, cham, cham. You just eat. So some of you have already conditioned yourself. Some of you already believe that because you are diabetic, you should be hungry. Okay. So it's a common stimuli for you already. Some of you already believe it, that, oh, I am diabetic. Diabetes makes me hungry. It makes me thirsty all the time. And so I cannot eat. And so I cannot fast. Okay, so these are some common stimuli, okay, when it comes to hunger. Now, when you are fasting, if you have made the decision to fast this period, can you hear me? I'm no longer seeing the list of participants. I don't know if my network, I don't know if you can hear me. Can you please type for me? Can you hear me? Are we here? Hello? 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 Can anyone hear me, please? Because I can't see the, okay. It's back now. My internet is back. All right. Oh, I can now see your messages. Okay, I'm sorry, my internet went off. My apologies. Okay, so I was explaining that I was explaining stimuli, right? Common stimuli and pairs. So some of you already believe that because of diabetes, you cannot fast. Okay, so that's already a common stimuli for you. So if you ever attempt to fast, your body just tells you, oh, boy, you are diabetic, I can't do it. Okay, you can. All right, by the grace of God, you can. Okay, so now there are a list of hunger suppressants when you fast. Okay, there are certain things that you can do and you should do, to help you with those feelings of hunger, because they will certainly come. And my mommy used to say that hunger is not your mate. Okay, hunger is not your mate. So when those feelings of hunger comes, okay, and it feels like it is extreme, there are certain things you can do to suppress your hunger. So the first thing is, before you eat your food, okay, start with a full glass of, if possible, cold water. Okay, it would help to prevent hunger, and it will also help to prevent overeating. Okay, so another thing is your green tea. Okay, if you can get green tea, if you can also get cinnamon tea as well, it would help to slow down the rate at which your stomach is emptying the food. Okay, and it will help to suppress hunger. All right. Another thing again is coffee, simply because coffee has caffeine in it. So if you can get something else that contains caffeine, you would have the same effects. Okay, and caffeine is an antioxidant. Okay, and it boosts fat burning. So instead of you to feel hungry, you are making use of, your fat that's already stored. Okay, you are making use of the glucose you have already stored. And you have your chia seeds as well. They are also very good hunger suppressants, okay, when those feelings of hunger comes. All right. Now we have Dr. Jason Fung. He is a diabetologist, and I've been reading a lot of his books and a lot of his work when it comes to fasting. And I saw this review of a patient of his, and I want to share it with you just so that I can convince you that, look, this change of diet along with intermittent fasting. Your intermittent fasting takes up 60 to 80% of the work. Your diet is about 20 to 40%. Okay. So intermittent fasting is actually the cocoa. That's the main thing that you should be observing if you know that you want to reduce your medications and you want to reclaim your life from diabetes. That's the major thing you should focus on before you even talk about your ketogenic diets. Okay, because you have to empty out those cells. You have to make use of it. And how do you do that? By fasting. Okay, so it says Elena, 63, was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 3 years before he met her. And because she's diabetic, she also had history with high BP and high cholesterol and obesity. Remember what I mentioned about metabolic syndrome. So all of these diseases, they're like siblings. So when one is coming, the other one is coming, the other one is coming. That's metabolic syndrome. Okay. And a major cause of metabolic syndrome is this insulin resistance. Okay. So you can see now why it's not something that you should joke with. Okay. And because she had high cholesterol, obesity, she also started having liver damage. Now, why would she have liver damage? Remember, I mentioned that the only thing that can process glucose for you is your liver. The only thing that can store glucose is your liver. So your liver is one of the first organs that will be destroyed because of a high carb diet, because of high sugar. Okay? So fatty liver damage, she also had that as well. And she was taking metformin for diabetes to lower her blood pressure and cholesterol, okay? And also medications to lower her blood pressure and cholesterol, metformin for diabetes. Her A1C was 6.2. So when Elena started doing intermittent fasting and the ketogenic diet of 36 hours, 3 times per week, I will let you know what that is in a minute, okay? Having been long told to eat small, frequent meals throughout the day, fasting required her to have a new mindset, okay? However, within 2 weeks of fasting, as well as a ketogenic diet, she was able to stop taking metformin, okay? And a year later, she stopped taking her antihypertensive medications and her blood pressure normalized, okay? At their last meeting, her A1C was 5.2. So today, Elena is no longer diabetic, and the blood markers that indicate liver damage have completely normalized, meaning that she no longer suffers from fatty liver, okay? That causes chronic liver damage. And she also lost some weight, okay? 24 centimeters off her waist, and she completely reversed her metabolic syndrome, okay? All right, so how do we fast well? What are some things you need to do when you are fasting for, to fast effectively? What are some of these things you need to do? The first thing is keep your goal in mind. Are you fasting because you want to shed some weight, or you are fasting because you want to manage your blood sugar, or you are fasting because you now believe that fasting is essential when it comes to managing your blood sugar? Okay. Now, also note that nothing is written in stone. They said here that Elena fasted for 36 hours, which means that she fasted for over a day. That is, she went over 24 hours without eating and more. Okay. Now, you may not be able to do that. You may not be able to do that starting tonight. Maybe you are so motivated and you want to start fasting as soon as possible. Okay, you may not be able to do that. All right, but what you can do is to start small. Okay, start small. You can start by maybe skipping breakfast, eating only your lunch and dinner, or you skip your dinner, eat only your breakfast and your lunch. Okay, and as I've already mentioned, drink lots and lots of water. It would help you stay hydrated. It would also help you with those feelings of hunger. Okay, so drink plenty of water to help, and stay busy. Okay, stay busy. I usually fast every Friday for religious purposes. And when I don't I do a lot of work on Friday as opposed to other days of the week. Okay, that's why I'm able to host such sessions for you despite being a student, okay, because I try to do my work specifically on Fridays, okay, and doing that, I go off campus, okay, and I go to the library off campus. So because I'm not on campus and because, I'm not at my reading table, with my laptop and everything, my environment has changed. I am not feeling those signs of hunger, and I can fast till 3 for religious purposes anyway, okay, on Fridays. So the idea is keep yourself busy, okay? When you have something doing, it's easier for you to fast out of your comfort zone than for you to fast in your house, okay? If you just sit in your house all day and you attempt to fast, it will be much, much more difficult for you than when you go out, okay? And, you go shopping, do different things. Just keep yourself busy, okay? You would take your mind off those feelings of food, okay? And of course, you have your hunger suppressant. So Elena, because she fasted 36 hours, does not mean that she didn't take anything for 36 whole hours, okay? She must have had these hunger suppressants, okay, like green tea, cinnamon tea, black tea, coffee, okay? Now, when you start fasting, please start small and give yourself a month to adjust, okay? And when you do eat, please eat well. When you have that period of eating, don't go and start eating 6 wraps of eba, okay? So that you don't take 3 steps backward. Okay, The point of fasting is that you are keeping your body in fat burning mode. You are trying to make use of your blood glucose. Okay. So when it's time for you to eat, please just pretend as if you didn't fast. Just pretend like as if, nothing really happened to you. Okay. I know it's hard after eating. You want to just, gulp down the entire plate of food, but just pretend like as if nothing happened to you. Okay. You are just normal. Just remember your goal in mind. Remember that you are done with diabetes and you want to get rid of this once and for all. Okay. And I'm sure that the motivation to be done with this and to get off your medications is more powerful than that's 5, 6, 8 hours, 10 hours of fasting you just did. Okay. So please don't take 3 steps backward when you're taking 2 steps forward by fasting. Okay. When it's time for you to eat, please don't swallow 6 wraps of eba. Okay. You are just giving your body more work. Okay. Remember, we have to put that tap off. So when it's time for you to eat, that's when you then put in that healthy keto foods. Okay. That's where they come in. All right. So just pretend like as if nothing happens to you. Okay. Just pretend like as if you didn't even fast at all. Now, when you are fasting, there are some things that could happen to you. Okay. Especially if you're not used to fasting. Okay. So the first thing now is dizziness. What do you do if you ever experience dizziness? It means that you are probably dehydrated. Okay. You are meant to take at least 8 ounces of water per day. At least 8 ounces of water per day. Some of us don't meet our daily water requirements. Okay. So when you are dizzy while fasting, it simply means that you are getting dehydrated. Okay. Now, what you can do is to put a little salt into water and drink it. Okay. Now, I'm sure that for those of us who are also hypertensive, you will have a concern that I don't want to add salt because, I am hypertensive and I am watching my salt intake. Now, the beautiful thing about fasting is that when you are fasting and you are burning out that sugar, it causes your body to retain salt less. Sugar, believe it or not, causes salt retention. Part of the reasons we say salt increases your blood pressure is because you eat a high carbohydrate diet, and because of that excess sugar, your body is retaining to salt a lot more than it's supposed to. So it's not really that salt is bad. Okay, it's like we are blaming salt for something that sugar did. Okay, so a little sprinkle of salt into water to help you get rehydrated. Okay, that's for when you experience feelings like dizziness and headaches. Okay, another thing again is constipation. All right, now not all of you are going to experience constipation. Okay, so if you don't experience it, no problem. You are not eating, so your body expected to digest food in that moment, but the food did not come in. So you will definitely see changes in your bowel movements. Okay, if you used to defecate a whole lot, you see that it reduces because of the fast. Okay, now if you do experience constipation, increase your fiber and your vegetables while eating. Okay, and if you don't experience it, then there's no need for you to worry. All right. Another thing again is heartburn. So avoid taking large meals when you break your fast. Okay. Avoid taking large meals. Just try to eat your normal portion of your dinner. Okay. Eat your normal portion. Okay. Don't try to eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner combined because you fasted, because you skipped your breakfast and lunch. You would now combine your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner combined. You would now combine all 3 meals to fit into your dinner time. Okay, please don't do that. All right. Also, avoid lying down immediately after a meal. Okay, try to stay for at least 30 minutes after eating. That is if you do experience this heartburn. All right. And also you can take water with lemon. It helps. Okay, so some of you that have GERD, that experience this acid reflux, this is essential to you. Okay, because while you are eating and your body hasn't taken food for hours of the day that it's expected to eat, you can have that reflux, and it would make you feel a sort of heartburn. Okay, so please make use of these tips to help you. All right, just eat normally. Don't try to eat more than you are supposed to, and avoid lying down immediately after eating. Stay up for at least 30 minutes. Okay, and then take water with lemon. It helps. All right, and then your magnesium, your muscle cramps. For those of you that have muscle cramps, when you fast, it simply means that you have low magnesium. Okay, so that's where healthy keto now comes in. Remember, I mentioned magnesium as one of those nutrients that are key to you when you are fasting. Okay, that's what healthy keto does for you. That's what a healthy fat diet does for you, to give you that supply of magnesium. And if you are not meeting up to your magnesium requirements, you simply take your magnesium supplements. All right. Okay. Now, how do you fast as a diabetic patient? Now, when you are fasting, you have to make sure that you monitor your blood sugar for at least 4 times, especially when you are on insulin. For those of you that are on insulin, okay, that is, you actually inject insulin into your system to help you manage your blood sugar. That is, your anti-diabetic medications are not enough to crash your blood sugar. The doctor will give you insulin to inject into your system, okay? Or you simply take it, all right? Please check your blood sugar properly, okay? And check your blood sugar frequently, that's the word, okay? Because you need to watch out for hypoglycemia. Now, the thing is, when you are fasting, your blood glucose will come down, okay? It will definitely come down. And your blood pressure will also come down as well, all right? Now, what happens is you want to make sure that it's not lower than normal. Okay, remember I said your blood sugar is a very tightly controlled variable. You cannot make it too low. It cannot be too high either. It has to be just right. Okay, so if you are on insulin, especially when you are on insulin, please check your blood glucose at least 4 times per day. All right, just to make sure that you are not running on low glucose. Okay, now monitor your BP normal frequently as well. And if you experience persistent vomiting, if you experience persistent dizziness, persistent fatigue, persistent low blood sugar, persistent weakness, it's not normal. Okay, persistent, that is, it happens every single time that you fast. It never goes away. Okay, it's not normal. It means that you have to decrease your fasting times. Okay, so please don't start fasting 36-hour fasts, okay, because you listen to this session. Please take it slowly. Start by skipping your breakfast or your dinner. Okay, I wouldn't want you to skip your lunch, okay, because this is just a tip I'm giving you. Okay, it is better for you to have that full meal the way you like it, okay, between the hours of 12 noon and 3 p.m. Let me repeat that. It is better for you to have your lunch, that full meal that you will enjoy, okay, between the hours of 12 and 3 p.m. All right, that's best time to eat food the way you want to eat food. Remember, turn off your tap. Don't start. I don't mean that you should now eat 6 wraps of eba at 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, but it's better for you to have that lunch time. Okay, so you can skip your breakfast. You can also skip your dinner, but that lunch is very essential. Okay, they will usually tell you in primary school that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. All right, but now take it from me, your lunch, it is better for you to skip your breakfast and eat your lunch than for you to skip your lunch and eat your breakfast. Okay, all right, so persistent vomiting, persistent dizziness, persistent low blood sugar, persistent weakness is not normal. That means you have to cut down your fasting time. Okay, but you feeling hungry is completely normal. Okay, and when you do fast and you experience things like dizziness and headaches, I have given you how you can handle those things. All right, now let's talk about your fasting methods. Okay, so you have your regular fast, like your breakfast, you are skipping your breakfast or you skip your dinner. Now, to experience the kind of result where you would then get off your anti-diabetic meds, you have to go through longer fasting methods. Okay, so you have to condition your body, train yourself to fast for longer periods. Now, what are these longer periods? You have your 24-hour fast. That is, if you eat your breakfast, the next time if you eat your breakfast today, the next time you eat breakfast, next time you have your next meal is breakfast tomorrow. Okay, if you take lunch, the next time you eat is lunch the next day. That's a 24-hour fast. You are eating only once a day. Okay, and that is also the perfect time for you to take your medications if you need to take your medications with a meal. Okay, don't worry, I will talk about medications and your meals. Okay, how do you manage your medications? How do you manage your supplements when you're not eating? Okay, we're going to get to that. So 24-hour fast is pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so your dinner to your dinner, your breakfast to your breakfast. Okay, now 5-2-day fast is you eat normally for 5 days a week, and on 2 days you fast. So perhaps you eat normally on Monday, Tuesday, you fast on Wednesday. Then you eat well Thursday, Friday, you fast on Saturday. Or you can eat well Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you go 48-hour fast on Thursday and Friday. Okay, then you eat well again Saturday and Sunday. All right, now this the 2 days that you are fasting for, you would eat a meal, a very small meal, okay, of at least or at most 500 calories. Okay, please don't exceed 500 calories. Okay, so that's your 5-2-day fast. All right, now your alternate day fast. Fast on Monday, don't fast on Tuesday. Fast on Wednesday, don't fast on Thursday. Fast on Friday, don't fast on Saturday. You know, one off, one off, one off. Okay. Now, your 36-hour fast is what cures your diabetes the best. Okay. Fasting for 36 hours. Now, how do you do that? Let's say today, Sunday, the 4th of February, you eat your dinner. You are going to skip all meals tomorrow, and the next time you eat is breakfast on Tuesday morning. That is a 36-hour fast. It's the tough, we even have 42-hour fasts, okay? But I would not recommend that to you, except you are very, very, very used to fasting, okay? Except that is an extended period of fast. Okay, I wouldn't recommend it to you just yet, but your 36-hour fast works very well in helping you reduce your blood sugar medications, okay, and helping you normalize your blood sugar. All right, so eat your dinner today. You would not eat throughout Monday. That doesn't mean that you won't put anything into your mouth. Remember, we have hunger suppressants, okay? So you can have those hunger suppressants. All right, and then you eat Tuesday morning. All right, now I will come to this. I want to handle your medications, your supplements, and your fasting. Okay, how do you manage it? Now, when you are fasting, you will experience a low blood glucose. Okay, instead of you to stop the fast because you are seeing that your blood glucose has come down, it is better for you to reduce your medications. Now, I am sorry, I cannot tell you to reduce your medications because I'm not authorized to do so, okay? So when you say that you are fasting, or when you try fasting and you say that your blood glucose comes down, the best thing to do is to speak to your doctor about it, okay? Speak to your doctor about managing those medications, all right? Now, what happens when you are supposed to take a medication and you need to eat to take that medication? Now, make use of salads, okay? Make use of salads. You see, salads are very low when it comes to glycemic index, okay? And the point about fasting is not that you are depriving yourself of food, but that you are trying to burn, or should I say, you're trying to reduce the amount of insulin that is spiked. Okay, you are trying to make use of less insulin. you are trying to reduce your sugar as much as possible. Okay? So high fat foods like your salads are very, very good for you. I don't mean coleslaw. I don't mean that salad that you used to eat your fried rice. That's not what I mean. I mean proper salads with your lettuce, your tomatoes, your cabbage. Okay? Those are the kind of salads that I mean. And for those of you that have the meal plan, your dinner, every single dinner, I try to give you a salad because that's the best time to eat your salads. Okay, at your dinner time, it is best for you to replace your dinner with a salad. Okay, but if you must take medications during any time of your day and you are fasting, please eat a salad and take your medication. All right, so things like your salads, there are some certain snacks that you should take. Okay, your teas, they can help you at those times when you need to eat but you are fasting. Okay, they are that's their role. Okay, to kind of replace or stand by or stand in for food while you are fasting. Okay, and then anytime that you eventually eat, you can then take your medications, you can then take your supplements. Okay, but just a tip for you, if you are fasting and you really need to take a medication, use your salads instead. Okay. All right, so I see a lot of questions in the chats. Oh, I didn't expect this class to take this amount of time. Sister Clementina says, I skip dinner but not breakfast. Teacher talks in school. No problem, sister. I simply said it is better, okay, for you to eat that lunch. Okay, so if you want best fasting times, it's better for you to fast that morning, have your lunch that would also take you through dinner, okay, through your dinner times. All right, that is if you are eating only one meal a day, it is better. It's just a better option, okay, for you. All right. Okay. All right. Yes, the replay would be made available. But let me answer some questions here for us, okay? When we are talking about hunger and getting cranky, okay? Will hunger make you cranky? The simple answer is no, okay? It's usually a thing of choice when you become irritable because you have not eaten, okay? We usually say that a hungry man is an angry man, right? But it's a thing of choice. Okay, it's a thing of choice. So hunger really wouldn't make you cranky. And remember, you have your suppressants to help you. All right. Okay. Now, another question we may have is, will it make you tired? And the simple answer is no. Okay, because when you fast, you have more energy when you fast. Okay, if you think about it, you eating those high carbohydrates foods actually makes you sluggish. You have more energy when you fast because you have more adrenaline. Okay, so you have plenty of energy to do your normal daily activities. Okay, will fasting make you confused or forgetful? No. Okay, if anything, it would actually improve your memory. Okay, will fasting lead to overeating? The answer is yes. Fasting can lead to overeating. Okay, especially when you just finished a fast. Okay, but you shouldn't do that so that you don't offset your results. Okay, so please just take it as, nothing really happens to you, and make use of your hunger suppressants, okay, to help you if those feelings of hunger come, so that when you break your fast, you are not eating like a caveman or a cavewoman that hasn't eaten in 12 days. All right. So yes, it can, but please manage it. Okay. Please manage it. All right. And I have talked about medications with our fasts. I can't see my slide anymore. Okay, what can I do if you have a growling stomach? Now, if you have a growling stomach, what you need is mineral water. Okay, mineral water. You either make use of your antidepressants, your hunger suppressants, okay, or you simply drink water with a sprinkle of salt. Okay, it would help you with your growling stomach. Okay, cinnamon too would help to settle your stomach. All right. Now, our final question, what if my blood sugar gets too low? If it gets too low and you are on medications, it's a good sign. It tells you that fasting is actually working. Okay. And what you should do is reduce your medications. And I'm sorry, I cannot give you the go ahead to reduce your medications just like that. Some of you already do it. Okay. But it's best to just speak to your doctor. Okay. Speak to the person that gave you the medications. Tell them you have been fasting for a while and you have realized that when you fast, your blood glucose comes down. You would like to have a reduction in your dosage of medications in such a way that it would be safe for you. Okay. So that's how you handle that conversation. All right. And moving on, we have your tools that would help you to beat your nutritional deficiencies. Okay. So your supplements are there to help you whilst you are eating one meal a day, whilst you are going your 24-hour fast, 36-hour fast, you are missing out on certain nutrients, and your supplements would help you to meet up to that gap. Okay. And now you have your multivitamin in a separate pack for 60 days. Okay. Where you can have all those things I talked about when it came to healthy keto. That is your zinc, your magnesium, your potassium. You have it all in your multivitamin and mineral. Okay. And if you want more benefits, you can then have the full pack. All right. Now I would be rolling out modified versions of your meal plan. Okay. That would include more information about fasting. So if you purchase the meal plan before, you would receive an email from me tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow morning with an updated version of your meal plan. Okay. So I have some fasting guides, some fasting timetables. I have lists of sort of fasting guides to help you. So do you fast at, do you skip your breakfast? Do you skip your lunch? If you want to do a 36-hour fast, how do you do that? What are some snacking ideas? If you don't have access to teas, what are some things you can use for your snacking? Okay. Also your salads as well. Every dinner time you have a salad. So you have basically 30 salad recipes in your meal plan. And I also give you more tips on how you can effectively break your fast, okay? So that you don't eat like a lion when you break your fast, okay? All right. So with this, we have come to the end of this session, okay? All right. So now it's time for questions. Please ask me your questions, okay? All right. Thank you all so much for joining me live. Kindly ask me your questions now, okay? Okay. Can someone do the fast and skip BP drugs? Yes, absolutely. Your BP drugs would also reduce, okay? Your BP would reduce and your need for BP medications would also come down. All right? Okay. All right. Please ask me your questions. Any more questions? Chia seeds, you soak your chia seeds and you would then consume them. Okay. You have to first of all soak them for at least half an hour. Then you would be able to chew it. Okay. Now, a list of high fat foods. A list of high healthy fat foods. You have your berries. Okay. Your grapefruit, your raspberries, strawberries, blackberries. Then you have your leafy vegetables, vegetables that come in leaf form. Okay. Like your spinach, your ugu, your lettuce. Then you have your non-starchy vegetables, like your broccoli, your celery, your Brussels sprouts, okay? Another form of high healthy fats, you have your coconut oil, you have your olive oil, you have your palm oil, you have your avocado, you have your olives, you have your nuts, your walnuts, macadamia nuts, different types of nuts. Okay. Now you have your seeds, like your flax seeds, your chia seeds, your chickpeas. Okay. And you have your eggs. Okay. They are also good, healthy fats. And then you have your fish and you have your poultry. Okay. Your fish and your poultry. Okay. That's basically white meat. Okay. That's also healthy fats for you. Okay. So chia seeds, you just chew them like you are eating, like you're eating a nut. Okay. You just chew them like you are eating cola nuts or something like that. Okay. Does fasting reduce cholesterol? Yes. Fasting is one of medicine's underutilized treatments. Fasting is one of medicine's underutilized treatments. And you then ask the question, why don't we talk about these things more? That's a topic for another day. Why doesn't your doctor recommend fasting for you? Why don't they tell you about a keto food? Why don't they tell you these things? That's a topic for another day. Yes. Now, I want this objection about eggs and cholesterol, please. Egg is like nature's multivitamin to you. You see this multivitamin on my screen right here. Egg is like the purest multivitamin nature can ever give you. Okay. I don't know how this objection came about, but it's one of the most misleading information we have about food, egg, and cholesterol. Of all things that could increase your cholesterol, is it common egg? Okay, let me just put it plainly and simply. The kind of cholesterol, food doesn't really have cholesterol. Okay, if I'm to explain that to you now, it means that I would go into biochemistry now. Okay, but in order not to do that, food itself doesn't have what you call this cholesterol. What happens when you eat food is the kind of what attaches to the food that makes this cholesterol we talk about. And that's why we say we have good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. The lipoprotein that attaches to this food when you eat it, okay, that's what makes this cholesterol. And the thing is, if you don't consume food, your body will produce cholesterol. Your liver will produce cholesterol on its own without your help. Okay? So you need it. These are lipids that your body needs for cell rejuvenation. What happens when all these cells are full? Let's go back to our diagram. What happens when this cell is full? You need new ones, don't you? When this green ball is full, when this green cell is full, what happens? You need more. Okay, and you constantly need more all the time, whether they are full or not, whether they are full of glucose or not. That's what you call cell repair. Okay, cell rejuvenation. Your body is constantly flushing away the old ones and producing new ones. And what makes this? These are lipids. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain to you is your food actually cholesterol is like something that doesn't exist except you consume food and the kind of lipoprotein that attaches to that food. Egg, the kind of lipoprotein that attaches to egg is not bad for you at all. It's not bad for you. If anything, it's healthy for you. And you should eat as much as 6 eggs per day. Okay? So please, let's get rid of the idea that egg has too much cholesterol. All right? your major focus should be your carbohydrates and your fry. If you want to change anything in your diet, start with those fry. Those fried foods. Start with it. Start with refined carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates, that is your rice, your bread. Start with those things, okay? Things that have been refined. Your vegetable oil, start with those things, okay? Before you then talk about egg. Egg would be the last thing you talk about, okay? That would ever be dangerous to your health. The last. All right. So it's a very common one. Who started the rumor? I do not know. But please, egg would help you way more than it would make you sick, okay? Or give you high cholesterol. All right. And your body produces cholesterol too. Okay. The cholesterol you're running away from. If you don't consume it, your body would make it without your help even. Okay. All right. Any more questions, please? If there are no more questions, kindly let me know, how did you see the session today? Did you enjoy it? Did you learn something new? Can I have your feedback if you don't have questions for me? Please let me know. And if you don't have any comments or feedback, we can leave. We can go. Okay. What about toast bread? I saw a meme online. And the doctor was trying to pass the information that bread is full of calories, right? And somebody said, that's why I toast my bread so that I can burn off the calories before consuming the bread. What's the deal with toast bread? I don't see a difference whether you toast your bread or you don't toast your bread. Bread is bread. If you want to make a change in bread, eat coconut bread. Okay? At least the coconut would help you, okay, with your high fat supply. If you want a change in your bread, it's the first change starts with coconut bread before you then talk about wheat bread. Okay? Before you then come down to white bread. So bread is bread. Whether you toast your bread or you don't toast your bread, it's still bread. Okay? And toasting will not burn off those calories. All right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the session. Okay? What about high protein diets instead of high fats? Okay. Remember I mentioned that your body's primary source of fuel is your fats. Okay? If your body doesn't see fats, the next thing it will use for fuel is your carbohydrates. If your body does not see carbohydrates, the next thing it would use for fuel is your protein. Now, you see why your body cannot use protein is because your body doesn't store protein. Your protein is eliminated from your body via urine. Okay? Many a time you just urinate out your protein, okay? The one that your body doesn't need. All right? So your body doesn't store protein as it would store fat or carbohydrates so that it can use it for later periods. Okay? That's why we don't recommend you eating a high protein, low carb diet. Sure, you can eat your protein. All right? But when it comes to fuel, what your body is using for energy, the number one thing it needs is your fat. If it doesn't see fat, then it would use carbohydrates. And you have been consuming a lot of carbs. That's why your body has stored enough carbs. Okay, so you need to use that now. You need to use it for energy, remove it, expand it. Okay. All right. So your body wouldn't store protein. What protein would do for you is to help you with that cell rejuvenation, help you to create more of these cells. Okay. So that as you are flushing out the old ones, you can have new ones. Okay. It's just like they taught us in primary school. I still remember. What's the function of protein? To help you to repair worn out cells, right? That's what your protein does. It's not something your body would use for fuel. Okay. It's not something your body would use for fuel because your body doesn't store it. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Basmati rice, brown rice, cauliflower rice. Those are the healthier versions of rice for you to consume. Okay. But please remember, fasting is the main thing here. Fasting is the main thing. Okay. You need to put off the tap. Even if you didn't learn anything today, put off the tap and then clean your room. Put off the tap and then remove the water from the room. You need to remove the water from the room. If you don't remove the water from the room, then you will just remain a diabetic patient. If you don't clean out the water from the room that is already flooded, can you sleep in a flooded room? No. The same way your body cannot function properly in a diabetic state. All right? Okay. So you will definitely make changes in your diet, but your fasting is the most important thing. Okay. And I think that's what so many people miss because you just cut down on foods, but you don't fast and you don't make any progress. All right. You're welcome, Mrs. Lola. You were the first person to come in. Thank you for joining me live. Okay. You're welcome. Sister, you're welcome. I'm glad that you could join me live. Okay. Any more questions? Am I free to go? So the replay would be made available once I upload it to YouTube, okay? And I will upload it to my Facebook as well so that you can watch on your preferred social media platform, okay? All right, all right. So I hope that you would fast more after this session. I hope that just try it, okay? Just try it. All right. So I will be logging off now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of my audience tonight. Okay. Have a good night's sleep. Bye.